Happy New Year! Welcome to 2022. I'm so happy that we all had our holiday season, and I can say personally we had such an amazing one. My parents actually came to visit. We had a little bit of an early Christmas so that they could be with the other side or the rest of my family on Christmas Day. Because of safety and traveling, we ended up staying home for Christmas, the actual day, and even before that, to be honest, we didn't travel at all. But that's okay, we kind of like it that way. This way we're at home and we can just relax and just take the time to be together, like all three of us. If you're new here, I should introduce myself. My name is Vanessa. Welcome to my channel called Respect is Growing. If you've been here before, you might remember that I decided to take the second half of December off just to be more present with my family and celebrating in the moment. I can't say enough how important that was to me, and I'm very grateful that I made that decision because it was so nice just to not have to worry about filming or posting or anything that goes along with that. And of course, Liam is only going to be this young once, so I want to absorb all those moments and memories as much as possible. I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday season, however big or little you decided to celebrate. And I know things are a little tough in terms of traveling and being with people, but thankfully we are all able to partake in the technology we have of today. I know that we did some video calls on the actual Christmas day, that way we had some time with those people even if it wasn't in person. Now, along with a new year, usually comes what some people call a New Year's resolution or goal setting. I am one of those people who prefers goal setting as a term. Resolutions, they waver in and out, and it's not something that I usually go for, but whatever terminology works for you, totally fine, because in the end it's about intentions. So however the phrase, we all need to set something for a new year and reach for those goals accordingly. In that vein, as you can guess from the title, I've set new goals for myself this year, and it's actually in 3 specific areas of my life, kind of tackling different areas, but obviously it will serve me in a whole, and that's kind of what I was looking for, because I didn't want to just to do one thing and then only be hyper focused on one item. It's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong, everybody's different, but I just feel like a holistic approach is going to suit me better and sort of nudge and push me in the right direction as a whole. Alright, the first goal is to embrace self-promotion. This is something I've struggled with in the past. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm wonderful at suggesting and supporting other people in their goals and their kind of life plans, and then I hold myself back a little bit. And I can't be the only one who does this, of course. There's all different types of people in the world. But I mean, I have my own variety of skills that I've learned in my life, and I really plan to embrace those more and to promote myself in order to perhaps make a little extra money through freelance with those items. Now, what I'm referring to specifically here, I've never mentioned it on my channel before, but I happen to have an advanced diploma and a bachelor's degree in interior design. Now, a lot of things go along with interior design that support the whole process. I can go through that in a more in-depth discussion in a separate video if anyone is interested, in which case leave a comment below, that way I'll know people's interest and specifically maybe some questions that you might have about that. But ultimately what I want to do is the skills that I have cultivated and learnt through my 6 years of post-secondary plus time afterwards, I want to freelance and see if I could possibly work from home in those areas. That will also help with Liam reducing any sort of daycare expenses we might develop or incur. Goal number 2 is to incorporate more self-care into my daily or weekly routine. Now for me, this is going to include fitness. I decided to kind of put these all together because it's easier for me to think about that way. So now self-care, when I'm talking about that, can mean a variety of things. Maybe that's going to be making sure to wash my face and maybe do a facial sometime during the day, most likely in the evening after being up with Liam all day and needing that little bit of break. But it also could be making sure I have a nice snack, or making time for one of my hobbies. It could be when crocheting or reading or that type of thing. Because it's not really a surprise, you know, as a parent, you're not number one on your own list. And now that Liam, I mean, don't get me wrong, he still needs us. But he's a little more independent than a newborn or a young under 12 month child would be. So I can take that time and make sure to incorporate something I enjoy into, like I said, my day. I have to say I'm not too big on a routine and you have to follow everything to each step all the time. No, that's not me. But when I refer to daily or weekly, it's just more like making sure to have that time built in specifically for me. You know, like I said, it could be a bath, it could be me taking time to, I don't know, put nail polish on. Something small, which in the end sort of goes a long way. Now for fitness, I know many people would just put this in its own category, but like I said, it's easier for me to think about self-care in this sense, including fitness. In the summer, I was into a fairly good routine, and then sort of it fell to the wayside slowly and went away. So I need to reintroduce this into my days. And at first I want to plan at least for 2 times a week that I exercise. I could even go for 3. The number is not necessarily the most important thing here. It's me actually saying, okay, Vanessa, you need to have physical movement and you need to do this regularly. Now, before winter, I love my walks. I used to go on some, especially around here, I used to put Liam in the stroller and just go all around our little area, and I loved it. But now I don't do it. It's just how it is. I'm definitely not a winter person. It's not a new thing. This is definitely long term. And nonetheless, we have things in the house that I could be doing and taking advantage of that I just need to essentially start. So that's what's going to happen. Goal number 3 is to recommit to learning a new language. In the summer, yet again, I was in a really great routine and I was beginning to learn French. My dad's side of the family is French, and I thought this would be one excellent way to reconnect to my cultural background, at least on my dad's side. Now, I was using Duolingo for that, which I thought was okay. I was supplementing it with other things that I was finding. The one thing I felt that Duolingo was lacking is the explanation to how to determine what is a female and what is a masculine, because there's the le, la, and I wasn't sure where that would be applied to or how that worked. And they didn't actually break that down. So if any of you happen to be bilingual or specifically French or anything, maybe even just know somebody who is, I would welcome any sort of insight into that process, because I'm sort of confused at that spot. The numbers and everything else I can gather and practice, because I wrote them down and then I was reading my notebook through that process too. But anyways, it's a work in progress, and I just want to get back to that. I want to reaffirm that 30-minute lessons each day, and I believe Duolingo lessons are probably 5 to 10 minutes. You can set your own time limit there. Ronald is bilingual, if you may not know. specifically speaking Luganda. Now, if you've watched any of his videos, you'll know this because he does a word of the day for different items. He throws in what it would be in Luganda. So I still want to focus on that as well. But that I find is a harder language to learn. I just don't know of many resources that I could use to practice. So maybe again I can ask you guys if you know of something that caters to Luganda lessons. That would also be helpful. I know I have Ronald and that's wonderful, but sometimes because he loves me he doesn't correct me if I'm wrong. So that's not necessarily helping in the learning process. But you know, it's okay. This is how it's going. So just to recap, my 3 personal goals are: number 1, embrace self-promotion. Number 2, self-care and fitness. I put those 2 together. And then number 3 is to reaffirm my interest and practice for learning a new language. In my case, specifically French. Now, throw in Luganda as well. I've been trying to learn that for, well, the entirety of our relationship. So, don't get me wrong, there's progress in that. I am able to understand certain words or phrases that are commonly used, and I know how to say some numbers, so I'm going to say it's on its way. But I mean, it's not like if we went to Uganda that I would be fluent. No, that's not where I'm at. Nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. Thank you so much, and once again, Happy New Year's. I wish you all the best in this new 2022, with all your wishes coming true and all the hard work that goes along with it. I know it's not easy. There's the grind is the grind for a reason. But anyways, please consider a like, share, or subscribe. And of course, share this with anybody you think might benefit from sort of a little nudge or motivation, because that's what we all kind of need in the end, just knowing that we're not alone and that somebody else is also trying to work toward their goals. All right, have a wonderful evening or day, and I will see you next time.